All right, let's get into it. Think of this as a high-stakes coaching session. Your opponent is building carriers, probably one of the most feared sites in all of StarCraft. But forget the panic. We're here to replace that panic with a solid plan. You see carriers. And I know that feeling, that little bit of dread that starts to sink in. But look, the fact that you scouted them means you still have time. That's your first win. Now, we're going to get the second. And here's the most important thing you need to burn into your brain. This isn't about luck. It's not about some unbeatable super unit. This is a math problem. The Protoss player is banking on you panicking. We're not going to do that. We're going to run the numbers and make them pay for that assumption. So let's talk about our primary tool. From this moment on, every factory you have with a machine shop has one single job: Goliaths. This is your solution. This is the direct counter. And we're going to build them with purpose. Okay, here's the first number you absolutely have to remember: 4 to 6. For every single carrier you see out there on the field, you need a baseline of 4 to 6 Goliaths. No exceptions. Think of this as the minimum price of entry to even take this fight. So, why does this ratio matter so much? Well, it's all about the attrition war. If you're below this ratio, you're basically just shooting for show. Your damage isn't permanent. The interceptors just fly back, they heal up, and you've wasted everything. But when you're at or above this ratio, your damage sticks. You are permanently removing their damage dealers from the fight. But, just having the right number of units, that's only half the battle. The real secret, the thing that separates the wins from the losses, is actually happening back at your base. It's in the armory. Seriously, think about your last game. When you saw those carriers, did you even check this? Be honest. Most players don't. They build the units, but they completely forget the upgrades. And trust me, that is a fatal error. And this chart right here, this shows you exactly why. Just look at that jump. Going from +1 to +2 attack doesn't just add a tiny bit of damage. It reduces the number of shots it takes to kill an interceptor from 6 down to 5. That is a massive breakpoint. And then at +3, it drops all the way to 4. These are not small gains, people. These are game-changing thresholds. And let's be really clear about what one less shot actually means. When you have, say, 24 Goliaths on the field, that's an entire volley of attacks that can now be directed at the next interceptor, or maybe even the carrier itself. You are killing their army exponentially faster, all because of one well-timed upgrade. But you gotta be aware, this is an arms race. The Protoss player can fight back on this front. If they get +2 air armor, it can completely cancel out your +3 attack advantage. Suddenly, you're right back to needing more shots to kill. So you have to scout their upgrades. You have to stay one step ahead to keep that mathematical edge. Okay, so we've got the strategy, we've got the upgrades. Now we have to talk about execution. Because you can have the numbers, you can have the upgrades, but if you control your army the wrong way, you are still going to lose. This is where we fix the most common and most fatal mistake. I really want you to hear me on this. Stop moving your Goliaths. Seriously, that attack move command you love so much, it is a death sentence in this specific fight. And we're about to see exactly why. It's actually pretty simple. When you A move, your Goliaths just default to shooting the biggest thing they see, which is the massive carrier hull. So you're wasting volley after volley on that huge health pool, while the real threat, that swarm of 80 hit point interceptors, is just shredding your forces to pieces. You are literally attacking the wrong target. So here's the correct way to do it, the proper procedure. Step 1, you manually target fire the interceptors, not the carrier. Step 2, you hit hold position. This locks your Goliaths into a tight formation and it maximizes their focused fire. And finally, step 3, you use your science vessels to cast defensive matrix on those frontline Goliaths, turning them into temporary tanks. And please, don't sleep on your support units. A single science vessel can be the MVP of this whole engagement. That defensive matrix ability gives one of your Goliaths a 250-point shield. They become damage sponges, soaking up insane amounts of punishment and buying your army precious seconds to clear out those interceptors. Okay, let's put it all together. We've covered the numbers, we've covered the upgrades, and we've covered the execution. Your new game plan from now on can be boiled down to 3 simple, memorable rules. This is your checklist. Rule 1, get the numbers right. 4 to 6 Goliaths per carrier. Rule 2, win the upgrade war. Always stay one step ahead. And Rule 3, execute the micro. Target the interceptors, hold position.
If you can say yes to all three of these, you're in a winning position. It really is that simple. This is how you turn panic into a decisive victory.
So let's end right where we began. You see those carriers warping in, but the dread is gone, isn't it? What's left is calculation. You have the numbers, you have the breakpoints, you have the plan. So what do you do now? You win.